Who, what, where, when, why is it going on, folks? Will Turby here. Fake Mike. Real news.
One sec. I can go get a new internet connection if needs be.
Do whatever you got to do, brother. We're live.
Yeah. All right.
We're live.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live,
All right.
player. We're here with Kolee. What's going on, guys? Share this feed. We're having technical difficulties, but we're gonna, as Hillary Clinton said, power through. We're gonna power through right now, guys. Nothing's gonna stop us. Share the feed. So I've been watching this. I've taken a really long break because I never really even watch audit videos because I do audits, I do activism. And the last thing I want to do is go home and watch cops harass more people. You know what I'm saying? But I've watched pretty much all of your videos, and your camera quality is good. I think you could have pushed the camera up a little more, but that's all in the heat of battle. I do the same thing too. This is coming from the worst cameraman in the business, by the way. But you've done a lot of audits in a short span of time. But you know, everybody knows like Captain America and Black Panther's origin story. What's your origin story? Why did you get into this? What inspires you? What inspired you to grab this and get on to doing this?
Well, it's an interesting question. I mean, if I'm gonna give you kind of the frank answer, I've seen people doing these kind of audit videos and whatnot, the likes of Auditing Britain and amongst a few other people. So obviously it took my interest a little bit. At the time in the UK, it wasn't a massive thing. But to answer your question, obviously I've seen people here doing it and I thought I could do it better than them. So ultimately, that's what prompted me to pick up a camera and do it myself. How did you first come across
auditing videos? Was it just like something that was on your news feed, or did someone send you a video? How did that happen?
I don't know if you know Crime Bodge from the UK.
Yeah.
Crime Bodge, he makes videos about police and whatnot. Yeah, so I think one of Auditing Britain's videos must have come up as a recommended video. So just from there, man, watching Crime Bodge, some videos come up recommended. Like I told you, like I watched the videos and thought, I could probably do this. I could probably do this a lot better. And yeah, that's the story, man.
So what do you think? Because you definitely have the unique style of auditing. What do you think that you bring to the table that other people were lacking or saw other things? What do you think that you bring to the game that was lacking in the auditing community? All right, he's out there in the UK. We're powering through the struggles here. In the meantime, I want you guys, folks, to go over, subscribe to this dude's channel. I've been watching all his videos. As you can see the red lines. Yep, we're here. You're back. All right, yeah. So, tell us about what you thought that you could bring to the game, or was missing from the auditing game, and made you kind of get in there.
Let me sort this internet connection out.
Yeah, while he's doing that, guys, go over and subscribe to his channel. I also have another channel called Eyes on the Audit. We reviewed one of his videos. Universal, oh yeah, Mr. Universal in the house. Make sure you give a subscription over there too. Yeah, he's got a lot of crazy videos. I like watching the videos in the UK. He's got great camera work. The camera quality is really good on his videos. I just did a really cool video too with one of my heroes. Oh, just on his channel, Jason Burmis. He helped wake me up. So shout outs to Jason Burmis. Go find him on Rockfin, ROKFIN. Find him on Twitter, YouTube, Jason Burmis. Tell him Fake Mike Real News sent you. And, you know, we've been having problems, but I figured it's been a while since I've done a live stream here, so why not talk to the folks? So let's talk to the people in the chat. Where you guys tuning in from? What's on your minds? I want to know where you're from right now. What's on your mind? I want to know what's on your mind. I'm curious. So, yeah, figure we have a fun live stream. Yes, man, I'm coming out with some more audits. It's been cold out here, but I've been doing other things too. Exactly, Tyler Owen's frozen. It's been frozen in Rhode Island. I know that he's talking about the screen being frozen. We'll see if we can get him back on. Either way, I need you guys to go subscribe to his channel. We're going to do this interview sooner or later, whether it happens now or not. But, hey, let's go subscribe to Homeboy's channel. Tell him Fake Mikey sent you over there. Show love to the community. Does great audits, man. Really good audits. And he's honestly, you know, I was about to ask him what inspires him. And I'll tell you what inspires me. Universal TV inspires me. The UK inspires me. Orlando, Florida. definitely inspires me. I love Florida. I'm going back sooner than later. Oh, I think we got him back. Here we go. All right, we can talk to a man on the moon in 1969, but we can't get an internet connection to the UK in 2021. Go figure.
No, I'm not in the UK, man. I'm in holiday. I'm in Turkey right now. That's the thing. That's why I haven't got no internet.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay, so what's that like out in Turkey?
That's
because
why,
what's it like out there? You're on the ground in Turkey. You know, the U.S. media barely ever reports on Turkey. Maybe like once every 3 months. I mean, I literally check every news website every single day. You don't hear anything about Turkey. And then most of the media in the U.S. is controlled by the CIA anyways. What's your take of what's going on in Turkey? Sorry to just randomly throw that at you, but that's pretty dope.
I mean, I don't know too much about, the Turkish politics and whatnot. I know more about what's going on in the UK. As far as Turkey is concerned, I don't know. Obviously, we have a president. He's got a lot of power. There's no freedom of press here. You can't criticize the government here. You can't criticize religion here.
So no audits while you're out there.
No audits whilst I'm here. Like I said, this country is a place that doesn't afford a lot of freedoms. So probably no audits whilst I'm out here. But we've got the other phone, set up the hotspot internet. So hopefully we don't have any other problems moving forward, my man. But yeah, do forgive me for that. But we're back.
Don't apologize, man. It's an honor to have you. And we'll definitely do this again under better conditions. And hopefully you can come on depending on the time. I have a late night syndicated radio show that I co-host, so you guys go check that out too. But guys, go subscribe to Eyes on the Audit. It's one of my new channels. We've reviewed one of Kolee's videos already. We've got a lot of good videos there, and we appreciate him supporting that channel. So go check that out too. But now, even before this, were you always kind of like an outgoing person? Were you, were you already an activist? Were you kind of like, did you have anti-government thoughts or thoughts about political corruption? Like, how did that all, or did you just see these videos and was like, all right, I can do this and just jumped right in?
I mean, I've always had my own opinions and my own beliefs. I've never really been in favor of government, so to speak. But to be honest, I didn't have too much of an agenda or some sort of political goal when I began making the videos. But as I've kind of had more interactions and dealings with police, it has kind of enlightened me to their nature and kind of what police mechanisms they will kind of adhere to. So yeah, I mean, to answer the question, when I started, no, but here I am now. I'm aware of a lot of the kind of police corruption and a lot of the other bullshit within government.
Now, how's that taking you down any other rabbit holes? Have you looked into any other things since the police corruption stuff? Have you stumbled across anything else?
I mean, it's interesting you mentioned right now a Metropolitan Police officer is actually being arrested for kidnapping and murdering a woman. I forgot what her name was, but it's an ongoing thing in the UK at the moment. So I suppose the timing is a little bit convenient. So a lot of my videos, for those that aren't aware, are based in London. Obviously, like in America, we have different police forces for different kind of constituents or different areas. So the ones that take care of London policing is called the Metropolitan Police. So as I mentioned, as of right now, a Metropolitan Police officer has in fact been arrested for the kidnap and murder of a woman. So I can't remember what her name was, but we'll have a quick look.
Yeah, so the most important thing is, what do you think about Meghan and Harry and their sit down with Oprah? Because that's obviously the most important thing. But on a serious, I'm asking that as a joke, but in kind of a serious way, what is the sentiment towards the royal family? Like, if you had to say out of 100%, if you could break it down towards, different thoughts, like how many people like the royal family, how many hate them, how many people like, how does that work?
I think most people feel somewhat indifferent towards the royal family. Obviously, it is a bit of an outdated kind of novelty, so to speak. I don't really think it has a place in a 21st century society. I think a lot of people agree with that idea. It is outdated. in terms of Meghan and Harry and what's gone on there, I mean, I don't think anyone can argue that the monarchy are not racist. I'm pretty confident that they are probably racist, and the things that she's alluding to are probably not just artificially or like made up things, that they are probably are true things. So yeah, I mean, them airing it out like that on Oprah's show, I mean, I don't know if that was a good play or not. It depends what Meghan's sort of motives are, so to speak. It looks like she's kind of in it for the fame and whatnot. So if that's the route that she's going down, by all means. But in terms of kind of consolidating her position in the royal family, I don't think it was a good play. But I don't really care, man.
No, I agree, and I think it's. I actually watched it, and it sounds kind of corny that I would watch that, but I've always been interested in not just the royal family of Britain, but history in general and different geopolitics.
Oh, definitely.
And it's interesting to me, like, I was thinking the same thing. You're talking about the psychological motivation. They didn't really drop any bombshells in there. They weren't saying like, hey, maybe these people also did something bad to my mom. Or they didn't say, hey, what about Daddy hanging around with Jimmy Savile? Or, hey, what about Uncle Randy Andy hanging around with Jeffrey Epstein? They didn't say nothing like that. So I think I agree with you. But then they dropped like their production company. So it's kind of like promotion because they basically cut off the royal paycheck. And I think it's very, very interesting that they were saying that the Queen cut them off financially, cut them off security, cut them off with the royal family, and they still love the Queen. It doesn't make any sense. Why speak out against the Queen and you still love the Queen and you're not going hitting the hard punches? So that's what I found interesting from that. And it's one day I hope to go to the UK and audit the Buckingham Palace. Maybe we can link up and do that. And Balmoral Castle and audit all these tools. So another thing in watching your videos that I learned that I was very frightened about is this terrorist legislation, and specifically Section 43. That's scary. Can you tell people a little bit about that and the encounters? Because that's like almost one of the things they always say to you. Like, that's so crazy.
I don't know if it's what I look like or whatever, but yeah, obviously a brief kind of history of Section 43. So kind of amid the, Al Qaeda and those kind of growing terror groups in the Middle East in, around 2000, 2001, Parliament decided to release this bit of legislation called the Terrorist Act 2000, obviously leading up to what happened at 9/11 and whatnot. So obviously this act was put into place to kind of apprehend potential terrorists that was used to stop terrorism, coercion, these sort of things. Unfortunately, today it's kind of being used as a kind of, I don't know, all cards on the table method of kind of detaining and getting information from people that are otherwise operating within legal boundaries, right? So if they have no other sort of reasonable suspicion of anything else, they can use this terrorist play and detain you or search you or whatever. So yeah, so those that aren't aware, obviously, in the majority of the audit videos when I film police stations, very alarmingly, about 70% of the time, 75% of the time, they choose to use this bit of terrorist or counter-terrorist legislation, should I say. So they need to reasonably suspect that I'm a terrorist, and I don't think filming from a public street
in broad daylight, as you say, they always try to say, there's been terrorist attacks before. Well, there's been volcano explosions, there's been meteorites, there's been the overthrow of the Roman Empire. A lot of bad things have happened. That doesn't mean that you can accuse me of anything. And, I would start throwing it back in their face and be like, why do I look like a terrorist to you? Are you being a bigot? And that will just go right up their ass too. But yeah, it's literally disturbing how many times they say that to you. And it's literally disturbing that, one, they're probably doing it to you more based on your looks, but two, they could do it to any person. Just say, oh, you look like a terrorist, so I'm just going to arrest you. It's very scary. Yeah. It actually was really frightening because, that takes a whole nother level of going to the audits and be like, oh, you're a terrorist. And all of a sudden you're sitting in jail, not disorderly conduct. You're sitting in jail with terrorist charges. That's very scary. And so people should support you because, and at least by getting the video out, because that's really crazy. What are some of the most crazy or wild things that you've encountered? I know the Highcomb video was pretty crazy. What are some of the craziest things that you've observed since doing this?
The craziest things I've observed, there was one video in particular. This really kind of highlighted the police's perceived authority and their power, and how, you know, they feel like they can kind of do as they want when they please, right? So this video was Charing Cross, and surprisingly, it didn't get that many views. I reckon this is probably one of my most important videos in terms of highlighting police corruption. So anyway, I'm filming outside the police station, right? So one of the police guys comes up to me, says to me, "Oh, he's, I know you, like, you're doing an audit, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing an audit, blah, blah, blah." We're having a nice little chat. Next thing you know, his colleague has come up. Like, he's aware that, you know, his friend knows who I am, and he's aware that I'm doing an audit. Next thing you know, he's searching me under the Terrorist Act. I'm thinking, so you know for a fact, like, I haven't done, you know, I'm not involved in nothing terrorist. You're aware that I'm a social media blogger, whatever the case may be. Yet they've launched with this terrorist stuff regardless. So to me, that was a bit of a kind of kick in the teeth. It was kind of a symbolic way of saying, look, we can do whatever we want, whenever we want, and you can't do anything about it. So yeah, I mean, I think that incident in itself.
Yeah, I watched that video.
Concerning. I was going to say charging, right?
I watched that video, and it was like, you educated them, and it's you know, a classic case of retaliation, just trying to be a thug. And if these people will do this on a video, what will they do without being on a video? But I know for myself and many of the other auditors, especially here across the pond in the States, that we get a lot of backlash from the bootlickers. And I didn't notice till a few videos ago, watching some of the videos out in the UK, that you guys even have a thin blue line between the Union Jack and some of these guys. Have you gotten any backlash since doing your videos? I mean, that one is a clear case of backlash, because right there, he knew who you were. He knew you weren't a terrorist. He knew you have a YouTube channel. But I'm still going to search you anyways, just because I'm a thug with a badge. So have you gotten any other backlash?
I'll tell you about this one guy. So it was a summer video. This plainclothes police guy, they ended up searching me under section 43. Anyway, he somehow managed to get in contact with my mum. He must have assumed I was living with my mum or something, right? So he I don't know if that was a data protection breach or something. In the UK, we've got a law called Data Protection Act 2014. It just means that companies and government entities are not allowed to kind of share and, you know, publicize your information and that. Anyway, so he's somehow managed to get into contact with my mum and called her up personally and said that I need to check my email or something. And lo and behold, this police officer that had detained me in section 43, he was sending me a letter which was supposedly meant to be some warning, right? Not to film police stations and whatnot. So I did a little bit further research, and, you know, just by typing my names, etc., I looked at a few police forums about auditors and whatnot, and I see him posting in a police forum, right? So he says, there's this guy that we're aware of, you know, he's obsessed with police, he follows police, he loves to film police, all this stuff, right? And he says, I know harassment can't usually apply to police officers, but what hoops may we have to jump through to get a harassment charge to stick? So he's there on a public domain saying, what hoops may we have to jump to? What hoops may we have to jump through to get a harassment charge to stick on this guy? So that was, and I found that
an email
screenshot. No, this was an email. So he emailed me a warning, right? So I don't know how he got my email. I don't know how he got my mum's information. Obviously, him calling my mum was meant to be some sort of scare tactic, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't work. It didn't work. You know what I mean? I didn't even live with my mum. Like, she doesn't have any sort of like jurisdiction or anything. Anyway, what was concerning to me, obviously, he sent me this email, which was, you know, a lot of people told me it could be kind of perceived as a malicious communication or whatever. So essentially, in this email, he said, if I continue to do what I'm doing, then I'll be issued with what's called a CPN, which is a community protection notice, right? And these are notices brought in, it's essentially to criminalize legal behaviors. So an example of a CPN would be, for example, something like noise pollution or a shopkeeper littering lot and this sort of thing, right? So that's what they're there for. They need to prove that, you know, one's behavior is a detriment to the locality, right? That's what it says in writing, right? So essentially, like I said, it's a way of criminalizing legal behavior. So the issue with the CPN, if you continue doing it, then they have the power to arrest you, basically. So it's just, again, stretching the legal boundaries. But anyway, like I said, so this is the email he sent me, and I did a little bit of further research, and obviously I found his post on a police forum where he said, and again, what hoops may we have to jump. I said, bro, I'll send you the screenshot as well. I don't know if can I put it in the chat? I don't know, but
yeah, you could. You could. I don't know exactly how this works. I'm not the most StreamYard savvy, but you could. Either way, send it to me and we'll get it. I'll put it in the show notes that'll be up later.
Sure.
Have you watched any of the auditors here in the States?
Not really. I've watched a bit of Auditing America. I've watched a bit of him, but not really. I don't really watch any other.
What do you think, if any, are some of the major differences? I mean, the Section 43 was the major thing that really jumps out to me. Like that's really scary. Are there any other things where you can maybe compare and contrast, or have you just maybe not seen enough videos in the U.S. to really say?
I haven't seen enough videos, man. I don't really watch.
In the same way, I'm just starting to get into the UK videos myself too, and it's
I didn't even watch the UK. I didn't even really watch the UK audits either, to be honest.
And so, in your time going out and filming and not even filming behind the scenes, have you noticed any similar things going on? Because you've been to a lot of different locations. Like, for instance, some of the things that I'll see over and over and over again is, I think I've traveled this whole country. I've seen a cop changing a tire one time, but I've seen cops fucking with the homeless, like, every city I go to. You know, like, are there any things that you see that are commonalities in every city that you go, or are there any differences or any place you want to shout out because they did a particularly good job?
I mean, police. There's one thing that is they all have some sort of perceived ego. They can and they can never kind of admit that they're wrong. They always cover for one another. They never show any remorse. They if they have a chance to use their authority over you, regardless of what's going on, they will do it. If you talk to them in a way that they don't like, they won't accept it or take anything on board, and they're open for any sort of dialogue or discussion. They just want to let you know who's in charge, sort of thing. And that pattern's crazy. Like obviously, I mean, before I started this auditing thing, you know, I had some idea that, you know, cops were on a power trip and stuff. But when you're actually in the field, like, it's an alarming pattern, right? There's an alarming kind of correlation between police and those that have, you know, serious insecurities and serious power trip issues. I'm talking like probably even more than 70. I'm like 9 out of 10 police are like that, and that's very concerning. To give people like that power, it's a big problem.
Yeah, that was my next question. What percentage of police have dealt with you in a good versus bad way? I was going to say on a scale from 1 to 10, but you get 9 out of 10, and I would say I'd probably agree with you here in the States too. You do meet some good officers that know what's going on. They're respectful. But I mean, I was in court earlier today, and I'll just give you 2 quick things. I walk in, and I could go on and on and on for days, but I walk in, and I'm going to court anyways for my First Amendment right anyways. Then this cop from, like, I don't know, 40 feet away, he's like, sir, 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 sir. But he's not even saying it that loud. And he's always like trying to bark and yell orders at people, right? And he'll yell people, oh, you're not 6 feet apart, you're not social distancing and all this stuff. I'm on my phone, I'm waiting for him to come up to me. He was like, sir, what are you here for? I'm like, court. He was like, well, I was calling you. I was like, well, you could have came up to me and talked to me. He was like, all right, well, you're in courtroom 4C. Have a seat right here. And I was like, is it okay if I stand? And he was like, yeah. And then we're going to see if we can reconnect him. I've got a few more questions for him. We've been having technical difficulties, and then I ask him, then when I go into the courtroom, they're like, take your hat and glasses off. I was like, is that like a law? And he was like, it's my law. And then I was like, and then I asked the other guy, and then he just like walks off. And then I asked the other guy, the other cop, I was like, what's the law on not wearing a hat? It's not a law, it's courtroom decorum. Oh, I didn't realize you were an interior designer. I didn't know that messed with the feng shui. I didn't know you were a decorum officer. I thought you were a law officer. I thought you were somebody that was paid to uphold our constitutional rights. No, you're not. You're an anti-Hatter. We're going to start our Mad Hatter parties, but we're not going to have any lead or arsenic in here. It's my law. Oh, man. Thank God. And what he was talking about, 9 out of 10, it's unfortunate, but it's the famous quote, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And people tend to gravitate towards positions of power that want power. Meek, humble people that just want to be left alone don't tend to psychologically gravitate towards positions of power. I don't want to rule over you. I don't want to rule over anybody. I want you to leave me alone, and I want to leave you alone. And if you're cool, we can hang out. That would be voluntary. That would be consensual, right? But I don't want to be forced to take money away from me in my paycheck every time I go to the store to finance illegal wars, spying, and the violation of the Constitution, which is what you're all supposed to be doing. So you're stealing my money to murder people and violate the oath you talk. Great. Let's go to the chat, shall we? I missed you guys. How you been? I got a few more questions. This better be better than Fox News. Are you kidding me? However, what was that dude's name? Shepard Smith. You guys ever seen the Shepard Smith hurricane video? If this hurricane moves off slightly 1 degree, you and everyone you know will die. Because you can't avoid it. And your kids die too. Have you guys seen that? Epic. Tyler Owen, where in the UK are you coming from? Yeah, I've been watching more of the UK videos. Scary stuff. Shout outs to Right the Matrix in the chat. Go subscribe to this brother's channel. He's gotten how many times has he got a channel deleted? Well before anybody, back in like 2014. Yes, rip to Kolee's Wi-Fi. I want you guys to go subscribe to your boy's channel. Give some support. It's right here. It's in the description too. All right, we got a question and answer time. Let's do a little Q&A. Sorry for the creepy stuff. Cornwall. Okay. What do you think about the situation overseas with Iran? I think we need to get out of their business. I think we need to get out of the Horn of Africa. I think we need to get out of Syria. I think we need to get out of Yemen. I think we need to get out of Afghanistan, Iraq. Snap Mike Jones. What up? Yeah, I think they've been trying to provoke a war there for very long. General Wesley Clark said it back in 2002 a few times that Iran's one of the places they want to get into. No war. That's the one thing the United States people and the people of the world can all get together on. We need a new anti-war movement. Everyone can be on board with that, right? And if you're not anti-war, then you don't need to be in this movement. If you're a neocon, George Bush, Donald Rumsfeld, out the movement. If you're a fake liberal that pretends, I'm anti-war, I'm Bernie Sanders. But guess what? You voted for military interaction unconstitutionally a number of times. Owned. I don't care if you're a liberal pretending I'm anti-war. Or if you're George Bush, you're war criminals. And I don't support your war. So let's start a new anti-war party or the pro-peace party. Yes, sorry, I forgot about Sudan, Libya. I did say Somalia, did I? I think I said Yemen. I don't know, I forget. There's so many. What's the ramifications of the COVID passport if adopted by the U.S.? Good question. So we're going to get Kolee back on another time. But, yeah, I mean, the thing is, I've been reading a lot of this psychological, these psychological papers about psychological nudging. I think it's nudging. Just Google nudging in psychology. I forget the exact term, but it's like nudging. So it's like, hey, to be climate friendly, instead of taking the elevator and lose some weight, why don't you take the stairs instead of taking the elevator? Or, hey, you really should take that. Captain America comes on Instagram. Hey, guys, it's the patriotic thing to do. To take Bill Gates and nothing is more American. It's patriotic to wear a mask. So, yeah. That's a very concerning thing, but you will see it adopted, I think, with private businesses first. It will be for airlines. Certain airlines will do it. You'll have to show some type of verification, like we already knew, to get into sporting events or concerts. So I am somewhat more optimistic, though. It looks like some things are maybe opening back up. So we might have 1/1000th of our Constitution as opposed to 1/1,000,000th. That would be great. So I'm optimistic because what else am I going to do? They can't take hope. I'm from Rhode Island. Hope, right? Yes, Bay Area transparency is awesome. M Against the Press, the best YouTuber in the history of YouTube, and Big Nick is hilarious. People are like, "Can I help you? Can I help you?" Be like, "Yeah, give me an ice cold Coke. Yeah, give me an ice cold Coca-Cola." Well, so I'm not going to get you that. Then you can't help me because I want an ice cold. And now, people always saying Coca-Cola don't be white. People forget Coca-Cola was created by a Confederate soldier. People forget that Fanta was a Nazi drink. Look it up, people. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Kolee, thank you very much for joining us while you could. He's obviously on holiday, or us here in the States call it vacation. So I want you to smash the like with the whisk if you're here in the United States. If you're in the UK, tick the like. Subscribe to his channel. Mike Jones, you need to be an interviewer because you're asking all the great questions. That's the good question. And even if that dies down, then they can just come up with a new thing, and it's even worse. I mean, 99% survival rate. What happens if they make up a new Black Plague? I mean, I don't know. Jessica says we should make forks illegal. Yes, absolutely. We should make cars illegal, lightning strikes illegal. Who knows what's going to happen? The only thing that's going to happen is evil will continue to triumph if good men and women do nothing. I know that everybody here in the chat, wherever it is, are good people, and they do their own activism. They do the sharing of the videos. They're waking up all the people. So it's a pleasure to talk to you folks again. I also, like I said, just recorded an awesome video with Jason Bermas go check it out. Go to his Twitter, Jason Bermas, BERMAS. He's one of the people that helped wake me up. He created Loose Change, Invisible Empire. He is one of my personal heroes. He's amazing. So go check that out. I don't really get nervous about doing streams anymore, but I was a little nervous talking to him. And then when I saw him in DC, I was like, "Oh, excuse me, Mr. Bermas, I'm a big fan." He's like, "Hey, kid, no problem. Appreciate it." So yeah, go check it out. Make sure you get your annual COVID swab. Make sure you put your mask on. Make sure you put a bunch of makeup on. Don't ever wear a backwards hat, and never grab a fake mic. Oh, kind of caught it. Real news. Peace out, guys. Till next time. Oh, by the way, no, not one of you subscribe to my OnlyFans. Go to Fake Mike Real Nudes. Hold on, we're gonna pull up my OnlyFans. Cheese and crackers, guys. I'm trying to build up my OnlyFans here. So it's Fake Mike Real Nudes. It's the only place I can. No, I'm not gonna sign in, but it's Fake Mike Real Nudes. Go and subscribe. Because I'm not gonna. They already deleted one video from my backup channel. So go. Oh, that's right too. Go to Demand the Truthy, my backup channel. I'm gonna put some fire there. That's where I put the spicy stuff. So go find Demand the Truth. It's got less than 500 subscribers. Go subscribe to everybody in the chat, guys. Let's connect. Let's chill. Let's relax. Let's nonviolently take over the world and restore it to consensual nonviolence. Fake Mike, Real News. Peace out. Fake Mike Real News. Find me on Facebook, Fake Mike Real News, FakeMikeRealNews.com, Fake Mike Real News on Instagram, Fake Mike Real News on MySpace, Fake Mike Real News on Telegram, Telegraph,